I shouldn't be talking anymore. Anyways, I had a lot of fun. And it's just really, Blood on the Clock Tower, my favorite secret role game so far. Highly recommended. I think somebody said that they might be able to do it on Don't Make Us Bored at some point, and if so, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Okay, well, you know what? I don't have any clock towers here, and I don't have any blood. Instead, I've got a GM to give to you, so say hello to our friend, Time Stalker. Time Stalker, I need you to be coming and telling us what it is, yo. What it is. Oh, hello there, Time Stalker.
Hey, bro, how's it going?
Going okay. I'm a little sleepy, but that's okay. That's like completely how things go after a kind of busy party that was freaking amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you had fun at a party.
Yeah, we don't have people over very often, but we managed to get, like, how many of us were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there were 8 players and 1 person who was the game master. It was so good.
Well, given the month it is, I decided to. I've been having a good time with Halloween. I got to do stuff. I do a spooky game for Don't Make Us Bored. I got to go with Kat to a haunted house. Fun things like that. And I was looking through my games list to see if there was anything I felt was appropriate. And I only had a very small thing, but luckily this one did not get vetoed.
Yes!
So we've got a game that is, as far as I can tell, one of the games that fits this month. It's called Mystic Defender on the Genesis.
Oh, gotta defend. Are you defending the Mystic Arts, or are you Mystic defending dragons? Or are the dragons evil? I don't know. We're gonna find out pretty soon, though. Yeah, Mystic Defender, as far as I know, this is not a game that we've had on Kusog7ande, but a lot of the GMs were like, oh yeah, I know this game. I'm like, I don't know it. Oh yeah, I know it. I don't. What is this? Is this a platformer?
It is a platformer, and this is another. This is another one that I have Smite to thank for.
Oh yay! Thank you, Smite. Smite is a guy who runs Arcade Pit, and if people don't know what that is, you know, whether you're in chat right now or you are watching VODs, it's essentially a little game show that's put on Twitch where people compete with trivia as well as playing video games to see which team is quote-unquote better. Sometimes you have to draw art. Sometimes you get individual, like, short challenges in video games. And is this one of the games that had a challenge in it?
This was one that I had for his mystery triathlon.
Ooh. Yeah, how did you do with this game?
I don't think anybody actually completed the challenge in 20 minutes.
That's understandable. The mystery triathlon, usually they have 3 challenges for you to complete in an hour, 20-minute cap for any of the challenges, and if you just don't beat that one, then you move on to the next one. Yeah, I've done the mystery triathlon before. It was a heck of a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it if you give it a shot. I don't know if Smite is doing that again, but if so, I would love to. I would love to join again because I got brutally destroyed.
He's been doing these like Sunday night races instead.
Okay.
Lately.
I mean, that's good as well. I think that, like, being active in the community and learning what other people are playing really helps, like, broaden your knowledge. It embiggens your knowledge of what is out there. Do you like to be embiggened? Because I do.
Sometimes. I think the general consensus around the GMs is that this is an enjoyable game, but a bad game.
Enjoyable, but bad. Perfect for Halloween. That's a well, Halloween, like, okay, Halloween is campy. Everybody, you know that. You have to have at least a layer of campiness when there's Halloween. Yeah. Well, I see everybody streaming. I got to get Specchio to unpause.
Yeah.
Yeah, Specchio. So here we go.
He did what I asked him to do, which was to get on a screen where it was all the way to the edge.
Well, good. Good job, Specchio. Now I need you to do a different thing. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what this is. Like, there are a lot of platformers that I know of, and there are still quite a few that I've never heard of. Wow, these are sounds.
It's Genesis. You're gonna have your farts.
Yeah, the cheaper the company, the more they fart. Novasol, thank you so much for the sub earlier. I'm sorry, I forgot to pay attention. Everybody, there's a prediction going on in Twitch chat right now for who is going to win. Go ahead and bet your ghost puppies, okay? Go ahead and get the bets in. You can win some puppies, you can lose some puppies. That's about it. That's really what you can do with the puppies. Occasionally we have Dwarf Fortress and you can name a dwarf using your puppies, but it's always worth betting them. Come on. Put the puppies on the line. What have they done for you? Nothing. They just sit there. And they're ghosts. Even less useful than the normal puppy. Wow, this charge sound. Wait. Ow! Okay, 3 out of 4 players are ready. I am waiting for, I think, Specchio to say. You're gonna hear this a lot, is what I would presume.
Yep.
Everybody, I hope you like that sound effect. Okay, I'm just waiting for the thumbs up from Specchio that he is ready, and then after that we will get started. I need all of your mystic emotes, though. Go ahead and get those prepared. Anything that deals with sort of this vibe. I see like butterflies and weird green gremlins or something. What else?
There are going to be spiders in this game.
No, spooters. Well, we're doing the countdown. Spam those. Spam all of your scary emotes. And spiders and anything mystic. And as soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer, and we'll... Flannel Cat, you are mystical indeed. Beautiful. I love it. Blue potions. They restore your mystical energies. And here we go. Yes!
This game is got a mechanic that is actually kind of really interesting to me. You can charge your weapon, but you can pause your charge too. So if you have to interrupt it to do something else, it'll pause halfway.
Okay.
So it's kind of a wild mechanic on this, but it can also be kind of frustrating when you get stuck in the middle of charging when you need to attack something that you need to charge against.
Okay.
Especially with some of the later weapons, which don't do anything unless they're fully charged.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Your health bar is in the lower left. You have basically 3 bars of health, and then you lose a life. And you can pick up those blue things that will recharge your health a little. But this game has limited continues. There are only 3 lives, 3 continues. Base. Well, 3 lives, 2 continues. It's 9 lives total. I keep saying 3 today, and I'm not sure why.
It's all good. It's a good number. 3. That's how many fingers the monkey paw had. Ew, I hate calling it a monkey paw, though. It's like a monkey hand.
Specchio is on the first boss, so let's see if he figures this boss out.
Tenmiku destroyed it.
No, that was a mini boss.
Okay.
The boss that's rolling is the main boss.
Now it's Sonic.
Yeah. So this boss cannot be hurt on the ground. He will stay in an invulnerable ball. You have to get up into the trees and hit him when he jumps.
So basically, it's like Armored Armadillo.
Yeah.
As long as he's rolling, you're not doing anything. Stupid Armored Armadillo. Great boss in Mega Man X, but also a giant nerd.
Now, this boss, you can stun lock him in the air. So if you get into the trees and start hitting him, he'll bounce upward, and then you can hit him. But Blasphemous has already figured it out and is on to stage 2.
Yeah, stage 2. That's a good stage. So I've heard.
It's where everybody got stuck in the triathlon.
No,
this is where the fire really comes into effect, because the fire is really good when you need a weapon while you're jumping.
Yeah.
Because it just goes out in front of you and attacks.
So Specchio has been a little bit stuck, but has opted to start climbing the tree instead.
Yeah, and now he seems to have figured it out.
Oh yeah. I think that it's good as long as you can avoid taking damage. Even if you do take a little bit longer, it still is helpful to confirm, okay, attacking while the boss is in this state is doing nothing. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to kill it. I feel like getting the boss stuck in a loop, even if you're not able to kill it, if you are not losing health, it's fine to gather a little bit of knowledge about it until, bam, you go and do some of the riskier things later on. But eventually, moving on, changing your strategy so that you can actually hurt the boss is a good idea. And everybody has done that.
That red and yellow one that was on Blasphemous' screen, that shortens your charge time. And you really want that, especially if you're going to use the fire weapon, because it makes it easier to attack quicker.
It looks like Blasphemous just got it, so that will... Yeah, look at that charge. That was super fast.
Yep.
And people like the dancing babies in the game, so that's great. I thought they were like gremlins or little statue boys, but I don't know what they are. Simply put, Mystic Defender, this is not where I grew up, okay? I grew up in Utah. Utah does not look like this at all.
Yeah.
First off, the sky is blue.
Yeah, you definitely want the fast charge in the stage because the fire is your best weapon here.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange with games like the flamethrower often ends up being either the best or the worst, and that's by no small margin. It's almost always one or the other. And in this case, it may be overpowered compared to every other weapon here.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that it's useless unless it's charged. You can't attack without it. But because of the fact that you're having to jump to platform across areas where enemies are, it is really good to charge it and then just do your jumps. And especially near the top of this stage, there's an area where you pretty much have to, because the enemies above you will knock you back down before you complete the jump.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this music is pretty good. This came out in 1989, everybody. Yeah, this was an early Genesis release, but honestly, so far, I've seen very little lag. It moves pretty smoothly. Even though there's a decent amount of stuff going on on the screen with the fog going by, a lot of the times there's a decent number of sprites here. So my question is, you said that people said this game was fun but bad.
Yeah.
So far I'm having a hard time seeing what's quote unquote bad about it. What would you say is bad?
One of the things that's bad is that it likes to respawn enemies a lot in areas, so you can kill enemies in an area, come back there, and if you have to move off screen to jump or something, they'll be back.
Okay.
Another thing is that they tend to put a lot of enemies on screen, so you have to dodge a lot. And then sometimes the bosses are a little bit weird to fight because they have different mechanics that you're not fully able to understand. Like the first boss, it doesn't really, unless you actually jump into the trees, you don't really understand that that's what you need to do. And then the third is that it is really, with the limited continues, it becomes really hard because then you're starting over a lot.
Okay. Yeah, with limited extra lives, and limited continues, that definitely can become a frustrating feature, especially if you don't learn how to conserve health and lives early on in the game.
And then later in the game, you get platforming that is just becomes really maddening because the platforms are constantly moving, plus they're throwing enemies at you all over the screen, so it becomes really hard to dodge damage in general.
I'm taking a look, by the way, and it looks like, this was made by Sega, specifically Sega Enterprises, published by Sega America over here. Some of the people who worked on this, like the art, we had Castle of Illusion artists work on this, Sonic 2. People who worked on some high-quality games. The designer for Altered Beast, for better or for worse, worked on this. We have Skies of Arcadia, Legend, Seventh Dragon, the original Skies of Arcadia, which is really cool. What about who did the music? Let me see if I can find them, because this music gives me some vibes of other games. Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf. They did the music for that as well.
One of the other things that I consider to be bad about this game is a lot of the weapons don't really do much unless they're fully charged. So you have to take the time every time to charge, and when you get a lot of enemies on the screen, that's not always possible.
Okay.
Like the fire doesn't do anything. The basic shot really takes a bunch of hits on enemies. So, charging is your best thing, but if you don't pick up the speed charges a lot, you're gonna be struggling because of the amount of enemies. But Blasphemous is actually taking to this game really well. He's already in stage 3.
Very nice.
I think he's on his last continue, though. Ramaford is asking what lets you unlock new attacks, and you pick them up in the stages. Like the fire was after you defeated the second mini boss. The bounce shot was right near the end of the stage. So you'll get them as you go. There's a screen wipe attack that is you can only use it the amount of times you find it, but it's hidden behind certain enemies. Like in this stage that Blasphemous in, there is one, but you have to defeat the enemy to do it, and it's out of the way. So, that one is findable, but the main weapons are very hard to miss, yes.
By the way, this game does credit some of the programming to be done by Sexy Dynamite. And from what I can see, people on the internet were sort of like, who is this Sexy Dynamite person? I do also see the name Koichi. And yeah, from what I can see, there was Koichi Nakamura who worked on them. And it may have been Koichi Nakamura who worked on this under the name Sexy Dynamite. And guess what? They directed Dragon Quest 1 through 4, 5, probably some of the later ones as well. Puzzle Bobble, Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon, Chocobo's Dungeon 2, Sheeran games. Yeah, like, they're a legend. They're absolutely a legend.
I noticed that both Specchio and Blasphemous are using the bouncing shot on these boss, and it's okay on this boss, but the fire is really your best bet here. It just deletes health on these guys. But again, it doesn't do anything if you're not charging it, so they may have decided that it's better to use something like this, where they can keep the weapon on the screen while they're charging it again. And it looks like Tenmiku lost all their continues and had to start over.
That is fine. If you're going to run out of continues, run out of them early, especially if you don't know that you have limited continue. Oh, you did tell them that
I did tell them. Yeah, I told them how many continues they had. Final Cut is saying with the balls you can concentrate on dodging, and that is true. It just takes a lot more hits, which means they're on screen a lot more. So it's a trade-off on that one.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily... Like, you got to figure out what's going to be the best trade-off. Do you need to dodge a bunch, or is it best to, like, tank a couple of hits as long as you can deal super fast damage? Speedrun-wise, you would probably be okay taking certain hits. For the first time that you're playing the game and racing, though, that might not be the best strategy. I don't know.
Well, and it really depends on what fits your playstyle too, because you know, if you play like me, I play cautiously in most games that I do, if you've noticed. So, for me, I would definitely be trying the thing that allows me to play more cautiously, even if it's slower. For other people, it might work better if being faster at it to use something that will do a lot of damage.
I usually try to figure out some sort of cheese strats, like as early on as I can. And if I manage to do that, then it is cheese time. And if I don't, then I'm just hoping that this is a game that you can get back into it really quickly. Because if not, I will be having setbacks.
Well, this is a game that doesn't take a long time to get back to places. Ubi does point out something that I did not tell the players, though, and that is that if you take damage while you're charging, you lose your charge shot. It does pause if you let go of the charge button, but if you take damage, you lose it and have to refill it all the way.
That's a little bit rough. Yeah, and that alone might make me consider going for something that I can use to shoot fast rather than charge. Specchio, the face just came out of the wall and was like, give me a smooch. So it was this fight that everybody was stuck on for quite a while during the mystery triathlon?
Stage 2 was where people got stuck. So these guys getting to stage 3 already is very good.
Wait, is this stage 3?
What Specchio and Blastness are on is stage 3, yes.
Okay, so they would have like gotten a really good time on the mystery triathlon.
Yeah, both of them would have.
That's awesome. Good job to them. People are asking if we're gonna raise a glass to Reiko Kodama tonight in chat. I don't know what that means, but sure.
She died.
She died?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in this game?
No, oh gosh, she worked on a lot of Sega games and things like that.
Okay, yeah, everybody raise a glass, and I'm
yeah, she was the artist for this game.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that maybe I missed something. Everybody, I'm still waking up. Okay, I apologize. But seriously, if there are a lot of really cool people that worked on games over the years, and in 20 years, most of the people who worked on game in the 80s are not going to be in the industry anymore. Virtually, maybe just like a couple people will. And it's just fascinating to know that these are sort of relics of what they've left in our world.
Almost out of stage 3. There we go. Now this was my high water mark. This stage is rough. I have never beaten this stage. There's a lot of falling or bouncing platforms, and if you don't know, and Specchio's into the lava and dead.
Oh no!
I'm hoping at least one competitor will get past that stage, but there are 2 mini-bosses followed by an actual boss, but I really want to get to the mini-bosses in stage 5 just for breath.
Oh, watch out! Ah!
Yeah, they were talking about the person that died. They did a tribute to the release of the Mega Drive Mini too. That's how it was.
That's really nice of them. It's unfortunate, from what I see, she was 59 years old, and it's it's still a decent, you can do a lot by the time you hit that age. It still is a little bit young, a little bit heartbreaking. But at the same time, there are so many wonderful contributions that she had made. And, the art in this game is actually really good. I love the aesthetics here.
Apparently, chat was saying that it's based off of manga or an anime. But I've never heard of it before getting into Mystery Triathlon, so...
Really now? Well, I mean, this Wikipedia page says that this is a sequel to Spellcaster for the Sega Master System.
It's
however...
Flynn Church says it's something called Peacock King.
I don't see any peacocks here. Yo, peacocks represent in chat. Raise your hand if you are peacock. Apparently that was a fairly popular series from 1985 to 1989, and it does look like there were OVAs released between 88 and 94. Let me see if there were adaptations put together. Apparently 2 computer adventure games, Peacock King and Peacock King 2, and then there was also Peacock King released later on in the West as Spellcaster, and Peacock King 2 released in the West in Mystic Defender. There you go, bam. And yeah, it turns out that a lot of, especially in the 80s, if there was anything anime being released in the West, they generally tried to make it as un-anime as possible, because I think most people didn't want to play anime games back then, or at least that's what Sega thought. That's what Sega and Nintendo thought. Let's just go ahead and strip anime away. That's why Fist of the North Star games got completely rebranded. But what I'm happy about is that we can actually go back and see what the Japanese versions originally were, so that we can confirm, yes, these games were originally supposed to be linked to this specific series here. I mean, yeah, other people are pointing out Dragon Ball. There have been some Dragon Ball games released in the West that were not related, were stripped from having Dragon Ball at all. And one of those, Dragon Power, is a game that I love to have in Kusog7ande, but it's definitely a Dragon Ball game, 100%.
Yeah, I've seen that game multiple times. But it seems like all 4 players are getting a hang of how the weapons work in this game, because they seem to be doing rather well in dealing with it. If you watch Specchio's screen, you'll see the spiders first show up.
Not the spiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that is more flashing than I expected. I'm gonna go ahead. It was on one corner of the screen, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a warning up. Warning everybody, if that already was bad enough for you, there's a chance that it could happen on all screens at the same time, and because of that, be aware that you may need it to avert your eyes, because there may be a big flash. Yeah. Oftentimes, making it a smaller screen, or even just putting another window over part of it can help. I think. Just so you know, it could happen, everybody. Warning, yeah. You have been warned now.
Yeah, the platforming Blastness is doing right now is probably one of the worst things in the early game. Is because some of the platforms just go under. You have the enemies that fly in and hit you as you're jumping, and into the lava is an auto death. And like I said, this is the stage where you want to just have to fire out, because it will lead you on your jumps.
Yeah. I like the dudes in like the purple, not suspenders, coveralls. Yeah. I don't know if they're coveralls. That's just how I imagine it.
Oh. And Blasphemous is having trouble getting past this first area.
I mean, first area of the fourth area, I can understand that.
Yeah, there are 8 total stages in this game.
Okay, luckily, like, it seems like it doesn't insta-kill you if you fall into the lava. It sends you back. Oh, no, it does insta-kill. Never mind, you die.
Yeah, you lose your life, and then because you normally respawn where you die,
it takes you back.
It takes you back to the last stable platform you've been on.
Gotcha. Specchio is trying to get through this as well, but is being greedy. Unfortunately, jumped right into a jellyfish, then got dunked back in the acid. I hate when that happens. Yeah. Dang jellyfish.
What this game really wants of you is to platform in place while you're charging. You don't want to take the pillars all at once. You want to platform in place, recharge, reset your fire, and then jump again. And if you're on a platform that goes under the lava, you just jump up in the air before until it comes back up.
Honestly,
and you're fine.
Just get to the platforms that don't go under the lava,
yeah,
and then you can go ahead and like assess the situation from there. You know, get it when you have platforms like this. Don't try to do it quickly your first time. Try to do it consistently, and these evil jellyfish are absolutely destroying Specchio. Like almost every time Specchio gets hit.
Once you have the fire in front of you, then you can make your jumps because you've got something that'll hit the enemies so they won't knock you to the wall. Yeah. But they're treating it like everyone is going to go under the lava, and they're not.
But I think Specchio got through. Very nice. Onto the second set. Yeah, but yeah. The thing is, before you want to make a jump over there, this game is starting to become a little bit cruel and place enemies just above your vision so that if you get greedy and jump somewhere, you may accidentally bonk against them, lose all horizontal momentum, and instantly die by falling into the pit below. So this is something like later on, you do not have a timer in this game. Assess the situation when there's a death pit. Because you can avoid death pits. Oh, the platforming is a little bit of a pain. I saw Anisep try to make a jump and unfortunately just sort of bonk the ceiling and fall down. I think that I'm starting to see some of the reasons why people might consider this a bad game.
The first couple of stages are relatively easy once you figure out what you're doing. It's when you start getting past stage 3 that it just starts becoming absolutely mean. And with the limited continues, it becomes really hard because you can't just restart there all the time. If you've used continues in the early stages, then you're running into problems because you only get like a couple of attempts and then you're back to the start of the game.
Yeah.
If this game had infinite continues, that wouldn't be nearly as bad because then you could just start the stage over and go, okay, I need to learn it.
I loved Specchio strat on boss number 1, climb to the top of a tree, do diagonal fire down, and the boss just jumps into it and dies.
Yeah, one of the things that I did is when I got this, and this was kind of funny because Smite even commented on it during our matches, I got up there with the regular shot, and when he got above me, I just fired, and he keeps bouncing up, so you keep hitting him, and he never goes back down, he never hits you until he dies. It was so funny.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, honestly, like, the more that I'm watching this game, the more that I think there's some very potentially cool strats in this game. Like, I'm going to go ahead and say that this game has some flaws, and so far, it belongs here. The flaws may be, especially that the game is a little bit too hard moving on, and that the more that you try, especially if you just try to go fast at all, the game just punishes you.
Mm-hmm. This is a game where slowing down and thinking about your strategy is really key about it.
Yeah.
And in a race situation, that's not something that a lot of people are going to think about. But again, most of the difficulty in this game comes around that charge shot, because of the fact that a lot of your stuff doesn't do anything unless it's fully charged. So if you're not being patient and charging and then going, it's going to absolutely ruin your day. Because that charge just takes a while, especially if you haven't picked up anything to make it shorter. But the players are consistently getting to stage 3, which is very good in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
2 of them have made it to stage 4. Specchio is just beyond where Blasphemous got, just because of the getting through the first section of pillars and into the second.
Yeah.
But that flashing that you were talking about, that's the screen light. That you can use it, it's a one-time attack, and then it goes away. But you can store them, so if you get multiples, you can hold on to them until you're ready to use them.
Oh, okay, you can have multiple screen wipes and just hold on to them for later. Okay, blasting us onto this area with the rising and falling platforms. Having the charge fire is a good idea. Just chill for a while. You don't need to rush here. Good, blasting us, taking it slow. That's what you should be doing.
Oh, Blasphemous.
Oh, that was so close, but luckily, like, got stunned a little bit by the lava, but it wasn't enough to actually kill, because I'm not sure if that's because the platform was still technically there. It was just very concerning.
Yeah.
Oh, getting dunked. Specchio got dunked by that enemy as well.
Okay, that was good. Blasphemous took out the spawner, so that should make it a bit easier to get going.
No! The platform completely disappeared. The spawner got killed, though. Like, Blasphemous took out the spawner. It's just that the platforms that are not right... I don't like this. I do not like this. This is evil. Holy cow.
This section is brutal, and there are still 2 mini-bosses in this stage, plus a boss.
I'm not gonna lie, though, like, this game actually seems like it's probably, like, I want to play this. I want to play this game.
Well, like I said, most of the GMs agree, this is a fun game. It's just bad. There are some really nasty things about this game that just shouldn't be things in the game, but it's a lot of fun to learn. Like, I compare it a lot to, as far as Kusog quality, the Captain America and the Avengers game. Because it's about, when you learn what the game wants of you in each section, you start to understand it, and it becomes a lot of fun to play. Oh, Blasphemous was almost across! Oh, getting to that platform would be first place. Oh, there we go.
Yeah!
We got 3 players in this stage, and Blasphemous is about to the first mini-boss.
Tenmiku is always a strong contender in these races. Like, Tenmiku has struggled a little bit to get here, but I think that Tenmiku is starting to understand, you know, this is not a go-fast game. It's a figure out what the crap is going on game. As it turns out, I don't think a lot of these enemies actually deal enough damage to kill you, per se. They will bounce you back, but they don't necessarily hurt.
They do. It's taking out part of your bar of health.
Of course. Like, you lose portion of health, and you can't see that. That's fantastic. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah. You can lose a little bit of the portion of health with it, but it is you can't tell it on there. Sometimes you'll lose a full thing of health.
We've got Blasphemous fighting a Jamstone. Ooh. It's pretty, but it's also scary. Okay, there we go. It's dead.
Okay. Yeah, that is the first of the mini bosses, and they're using a screen wipe to take out those spawners.
Yeah. Oh, that screen wipe is so intense. That's a good place to use it, though. Like, getting rid of... If there are a lot of spawners, go ahead and just deal with them. Yeah. I feel like I need to play this game. Like, honestly, Flannel Cat is saying that she is on the fence for calling this game, like whether or not to call this game bad. And that's sort of, I feel like that's one of the sweet spots for games. Like, if you might be bad, some people call you bad, some people call you good. That's a really fun spot to be in, because, like, this game is doing a lot of things that I haven't really seen in games before.
Yeah.
And some of them, like, I do think that you could complain about the design, but I feel like the sort of troll design is on purpose here.
Well, yeah, kind of, in my opinion, that's why people ask me why I like Mega Man X6, despite all the flaws in that game. It's because they went and tried something. Okay, they tried something. It didn't work.
No, it didn't.
But they tried, and some of it is really neat. And so I like that one. Whereas the one I like the least is X3, because, oh my gosh, that game looks like they tried nothing with it. They just kind of went through the motions, and none of it works well, and it's just obnoxious to me.
Mega Man X3 was fun. I enjoyed it.
I would prefer games that try something, even if they fail. Than games that feel like they had no real effort.
Are you actually saying that you would prefer Mega Man X6 to X3? Because, like, you can't take these statements back. They're recorded.
Yeah, I know. I've said it on record all the time. I think X3 is the worst of the first X6 games.
Well, you heard it here, people. You heard it here. Time Stalker is in love with Mega Man X6. Probably smooches the cart.
It's the second worst of the X games, but I prefer it over X3. Oh, by the way, no, I don't think anyone can deny that X3 has the worst Buster upgrade in the game, or in the series.
What's that upgrade?
It's one that becomes much harder to hit small things because it's too big. And so when you get enemies like the final boss, you can't do a charge shot on it because you will miss more often than not.
Well, then don't charge, or only do a partial charge. I mean, I've played Mega Man X games before. You don't have to do the full charge. Question, do you still have the upgrades from the previous games? Because that... Like, I know that I've played X3, but I've forgotten a lot about it.
Believe me, Arc Nova X, a lot of people have said I'm wrong for that take. It's my personal opinion.
You're allowed to be wrong on Kusog7ande. It's fine.
So, Blasphemous has gotten through this. It's through to the boss of Stage 4. Well done.
Pew, pew. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it was X2 that had one of the coolest final bosses to me. Like, Flannel Cat, in general, I do agree that I prefer Mega Man to Mega Man X. I think I prefer the weapon system in Mega Man X, because every weapon has multiple, like, types, multiple things you can do with it, charging or not charging. And that was just such a cool feature when I was a kid. I was like, this is so cool. Look at this tornado power I've got. Yeah.
Oh, Blasphemous game over on the fourth boss.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, you know? But the thing that I don't like about a lot of the Mega Man X games is there's too much lore that I don't care about. Let me fight robots. I don't care about Zero, okay? Zero is overrated.
Oh, you're gonna be flamed in the comments over that one.
Yeah, if you like Zero, you are an anime nerd. Huh? You're an anime nerd. You're like robots with swords.
Okay, so what I've seen so far, I don't believe Anisep has got to Stage 4, so I think our order is Blasphemous, Specchio, Tenmiku, and Anisep.
I love everything. Well, I also love the people who are like, oh, the hair. Well, guess what? You know, just because Zero is blonde doesn't mean that he's cool. I know a lot of blonde people, okay? Yeah. I mean, sure, it's long and flowing, but it feels like the anime trope to make somebody cool is to give them blonde, long hair. Final Fantasy IV. Kane?
Final Fantasy VII.
He's got long, flowing hair.
I mean, that was the whole point of Final Fantasy VII is both people that people love and have long, flowing hair like Sephiroth.
Sephiroth, well, that's not blonde, though. That's silver. Which is also awesome. Silver hair, better than blonde hair. Yeah. That's right, Silver the Hedgehog better than Sonic in his Sonic Saiyan form. Agreed. I'm glad everybody is on my side, and then I'm objectively right. I would say that, like, gray hair for anime is almost only cool if they are at least 30 years old and, like, actually, like, are not the skinniest people. They gotta have some heft to them, you know? If they've got heft and they've got gray hair, they're in my book as being amazing. Like Colonel Sanders, he's not like super skinny in Japanese animes and stuff, which is great in the dating game where you date Colonel Sanders. He's got heft, but he's also got the hair. He's awesome.
I'm got no words on bringing up that dating simulator.
All I have to say is that you can date Colonel Sanders, and he is a gray fox. Yeah. Okay, Chad is right that Colonel Sanders has short hair. Look, if you've got gray hair, it can be short, it can be long, it doesn't matter. You're already, like, numero 100 in my book. Blonde hair is only cool in anime when it's long. No, JK, it's always cool in anime, but that's just what they try to do in order to make people, like, have a crush on somebody. Give them blonde hair. It worked on Ouran High School Host Club. You know it did. The blonde hair. People in chat are asking if gray or silver is better. If they're the same thing, aren't they?
No, gray is less shiny. People love the shiny hair.
Yeah, like oh, okay, yeah, I would agree that the shine is important. Yeah, silver hair is more like the foil version of gray hair, which gray hair is still fine. I like it. People are asking if flowing hair or spiky hair is better. I'd say it depends on the color of the hair. And also the personality of the character. Like, there are plenty of characters with long flowing hair who are just unbearable. Come on. But then, like, no, I'm a personality boy, you know? I can like the hair, but it doesn't matter how much I like your hair if you have the personality of a wet sock monkey, you know? I'm just not gonna love you. Sorry.
A wet sock monkey?
Yeah. You don't want to hug a wet sock monkey, do ya? I don't.
Tenmiku's trying an interesting strategy for getting across these pillars.
Oh yeah, let's pay attention to the game for a little bit. What's the strategy that we've got here?
He was using the base weapon to try and take out the enemies ahead of time, but it really doesn't work when they're off screen.
Yeah, like, good thought. Didn't pay off. Yeah, depending on the game, you can sometimes hit enemies that are off screen, and sometimes you can't. Honestly, if a game is before the year 1990, it often doesn't work. Let's just be real here. Like, this is Genesis, sure, but this is early Genesis, and a lot of the times, like, if it is just barely off screen, it only kind of exists. It might be able to shoot things at you, but you might not be able to hit it.
Oh! And into the lava again. I honestly think part of the problem is that Tenmiku has fallen into a habit with the base weapon, and it's really not good beyond the first couple of stages. Like, the charge only goes straight, the bullets only go straight, and a lot of the enemies come from off screen and stuff, so it's really hard to hit them with the base weapon. You really want to either be using the fire or the bounce shot, because in general it's just going to cover more range.
Gotcha. By the way, chat is putting something out that if you use the hardware collision detection for Genesis when you're programming a game, off-screen shooting won't work. This is one of the earliest games on the Genesis, and it was made by Sega. So just putting those two things together, odds are Sega knew all of the stuff that was already built into the Genesis and was likely relying on that as much as possible for their first games, because, you know, they wanted to, first off, they wanted to show off everything the Genesis could do. Second off, they already knew how it worked. So I would say that is a pretty clear, that takes a lot of knowledge about the hardware to already have that piece of information. But if you have that piece of information, then it's something that you can pay attention to, you know?
Alright, Specchio is back to stage 4 as well. Let's see if they can reach the boss. And the thing is, I can track progress on the boss too, because there are 2 parts to it. So if Specchio gets one of the 2 parts of the boss down, then they will move in first. Mm-hmm. Or Tenmiku, if Tenmiku can do it, they would also.
You know what? I've actually, just because there's this discussion of collision detection going on, I've done some collision detection programming, and it's really kind of fascinating, to figure out exactly how things work with that. There are a lot of variables that go into it. Let me just say, and I think, especially if anybody tries to make those from the ground up, they're probably going to be a little bit different from anything else that you come across. And that's fine. But yeah, this isn't from the ground up. They probably used whatever was already in the system, and it works good enough.
And again, we're seeing a little bit of the problem with Tenmiku's reliance on the base weapon is the mini-boss doesn't always come down where you can hit it well straight on, and so it becomes problematic to hit it because it's usually up higher than you can reach with your straight shot.
Yeah. By the way, some people are calling this level the soup store, and I can understand that. They're just getting dunked back into the soup every time. This, alien soup. It looks like there are a lot of aliens. Alien soup for the soul. Anisep
is on to the stage 4 too, so
very nice. Oh, that's really awesome. This is a very close match. I didn't expect, this far in. Essentially, people would be almost tied. Although Blastinus and Specchio have made good pushes. Tenmiku has made a really good push as well. Okay,
Blastinus has made the boss of the stage. Specchio, from what I remember, reached the second mini-boss. Tenmiku beat the first mini-boss, so we'll see where Anisep gets.
Anisep is going very slow. This is a very good idea. Sure, John Freeman and Gordon Freeman might not approve of going very slow, because that's how you turn into Headcrab Zombie, and, but, you know, for Kusog7ande, sometimes you've got to be a Headcrab Zombie.
And Specchio's back to the start.
But the first levels are really fast to get through.
Yeah,
Don't die.
Zervan Unix makes a good point. Bonking on the roof in stage 4 is getting a large number of kills as well, because they're accidentally hitting the ceiling, and then it's knocking them straight into the lava.
Yeah, there's really no okay, I guess there are some reasons to make it so that you hit your head on the ceiling, you fall straight down, or at least a little bit more straight down. You can sort of adjust a little bit from there. I just don't think it's fair. I much prefer physics where, like, if you jump along the ceiling, you just sort of keep sliding at the same horizontal momentum you had. Don't make them sticky ceilings.
Yeah. I'm still hoping someone beats that stage 4 boss and can show off the mini boss in stage 5. The mini boss in stage 5 is ridiculous. If not, I will explain it to you, because it's definitely something that I wanted to show you.
I've got my fingers crossed then. Let's hope that we are able to get there. Thank you, chat. Chat is pointing out that the pants are dead and the zombie ghosts and all that. Earlier this week, no, it was on Thursday, yeah, we had the Kusog7ande GM hangout, and we watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos. That's mostly what we did, and we got to watch Half-Life Full Life Consequences, and it has been years for me. But, like, it's hot on my mind right now how John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, was one day in office typing on computer. Like, he's such a good brother. But yeah, that's been hot on my mind right now. Oh, Blasphemous is on to Double Worm.
Yep, he's back to the stage 4 boss.
Yeah!
And he seems to have figured out that the best weapon to use is the fire, which is right.
Yeah, Flamethrower is always either the best weapon or the worst weapon.
Well, it means that you can hit the boss multiple times when it's coming up, when it's going down, and in this section, that's what you really need.
Oh, there we
he
go.
goes, on to stage 5.
Down. Stage 5, everybody. Throw your hands in the air. Put all those hype emotes here, because we're going to get maybe to the mini boss of stage 5.
And this one, you definitely have to go slow, because the enemies come in from off screen, and sometimes they come in pretty fast.
Pew, 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 pew.
Let's put it this way, Blasphemous has gotten further than my high water mark in this game.
Well, that's really cool, yeah. That's not necessarily strange, though, when it comes to Kusog7ande. A lot of the times the players do better than the GMs or anybody testing the games. That's just sort of a fact that, like, people who choose the games are not necessarily going to be better than the people who play the games. Then again, we do have Flannel Cat, who took second in Kusog7ande one year, and she is a GM right now. And because of that, like, if Flannel Cat can make a certain amount of progress, I can usually say that's probably about as far as somebody's gonna make it. Probably.
Oh, this mini boss is so stupid. Okay, so it's a bunch of spiders that pile on top of themselves to become a worm.
Ew.
They shoot all those things at. Oh, we didn't even get through the first portion. But yeah, they pile on top of each other. They become a worm that starts shooting arc shots at you, which you have to dodge as you're attacking it, which means the fire is probably your best weapon, because it's just going to be able to hit while you're moving.
That is rough. I want people to know by the... Oh, yeah, there are going to be 2 people eliminated in this match, so, like, that is a very important high watermark for Blasphemous to set. Other people might be able to get past it, but just getting to stage 5 might be something that nobody else is able to do. Anyways, keep going. What else happens with Mr. Spider-Worm?
Once you do enough damage to the head, the spiders come down and go across the screen at you, so they basically yellow devil you to go and go to the second half of the screen.
Oh, that's great. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, with about 9 minutes left, we're looking at basically seeing where Specchio and Miku can go.
Yeah.
I just lost your feet there, bro.
I'll be right back in just a second. I gotta make one small adjustment right here for reasons. Yeah, don't worry. I'll go ahead and let people know that the game is progressing just exactly as we would like. There we go. We're back for you.
Okay, so Tenmiku's back to stage 4, and let's see if they can make progress here.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder if I capture... am I able to capture this preview? But you wouldn't be able to hear the audio. I want you to be able to hear the audio. It's good. Oh, I know how I can do it. Okay. No, that wouldn't work. Never mind. Haha, everybody. Welcome to Kusog7ande, where my setup is better than it used to be, but still not perfect, because sometimes I actually have to like get stuff ready for the next match. But I think I'm about as ready as needed at this time.
Yeah, the Radom for yes. If anybody wants to pass Blastus, they have to kill that mini boss. That said, if Tenmiku can make it to the boss of the stage, they are in position to take second. But I think that's what it's going to require, because Specchio got the second mini boss first, and I don't think Tenmiku has seen the second mini boss.
We'll see in a little bit if there's still enough time that somebody could have a bit of a lead change. But two people are getting eliminated from this match. It's a very important match for the players here. Game over for Tenmiku. No more continues. Technically, there might be enough time for Tenmiku to get back there again, because the first levels go fast if you can play them well.
Yeah. If you can go fast through the first couple of stages, he might have one more attempt at this, but it's got to be a fast move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be Blastus first, Specchio second.
Someone was saying, like, the task is a little bit over 5 minutes, which, I mean, you can't expect to play as well as a task.
The long play that I saw was like 50 minutes for someone that knew the game, so I'm not sure how they do this in 5 minutes. But I don't know the ins and outs of this game completely.
Well, okay, somebody is saying the task for the whole game. Maybe I just misread chat when somebody was talking about that. Chat, does anybody want to, like, verify or rebut my claims? You're gonna rebut. Rebutting is fine. You get another butt. Sometimes I just need another butt, you know? I'm out of butt right now. Someone give me my butt back. Nobody wants to give me my butt back. Fine, whatever. Whatever, chat. I'll keep my current butt, even if it's not the same butt that I knew and loved when I was born. It's fine. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. All I know is that Specchio is making a really good push through level 4 right now. I think
they're on to the second mini-boss again.
Are you sure this isn't the first one?
Oh, no, this is the first. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
The platforms look a little bit different in the second one.
Well, the second one has a little bit of a part of the stage at the side.
Yeah, part of the ceiling and the floor, the platform there, are a little bit different shaped when you enter the second mini-boss. I have to ask, did Specchio make it to the second mini-boss before?
They made it once, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, somebody is saying, confirm the task is 5 minutes 38 seconds. It looks like the task plays through everything and doesn't like do any large skips. So, but it is playing through everything like as perfect as possible. So, if Ted and Miku, in theory, could get back to stage 4 with the amount. Well, I think it's starting to get close to the end here, though. Unless this is stage 3. Is this 3?
This is 4.
No, that Tenmiku's on.
Oh, Tenmiku's on 2.
Okay.
They still have to get through the,
The weird, oh yeah, the weird alien.
Okay, Specchio's made it to the boss, so they are definitely inside.
Specchio has a solid grip on second, which means Tenmiku and Anisep are in danger of being eliminated from Kusog7ande.
And immediately dead on the stage 4 boss.
You know how it goes. But yeah, like Tenmiku has often done very well in tournaments. This might not just be the game for him, which, you know, people are bad at different things. Sometimes games work for you, sometimes they don't. Everybody who's been in Kusog7ande before knows that occasionally you just get a game that is not the right game for you. And it's kind of fun. I love when that happens. Oh, blasting us into the soup! Can you imagine? What does alien-flavored soup taste like? Are aliens delicious?
I don't know.
I think it really depends on, like, the composition of the alien. Like, I imagine, like, the goopy aliens would probably taste a little bit closer to snails or clams. And people eat those. They might be tasty.
I think at this point it's pretty much said. I don't even think Anisep can
You're probably right that it's set because we only have a minute left.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so everybody, if you ever meet an alien and you're able to cook one and verify that it's not, like, toxic or anything like that, do it. And then tell me what it tastes like, because I'm really curious. I really like to taste things. If you haven't noticed in chat, mind you, I've also got, like, the issue that, like, if you try to get me to eat a piece of your alien after I've already had dinner, I'm gonna say no, because I want to make sure that I have a pleasant flavor in my mouth for the rest of the night. So only offer me your fried alien at the beginning of dinner, okay? And I'll go ahead and take a bite. And then if it's disgusting, then I can go ahead and eat something else to cover up the flavor of your gross alien food.
All right.
Okay.
So, looks like
that's time, everybody. Throw your hands up in the air. I'm no longer going to talk about eating aliens, but, you know, I still would. If I had a chance and I knew that I wasn't going to die, but maybe vomit a little bit, I would probably, like, I'd be curious. I would try alien. Okay. That is it. Blastinus definitely took the victory here. Specchio taking second. Tenmiku and Anisep, unfortunately, are eliminated this year. I'm not completely sure the order for those two.
Tenmiku was third, Anisep was fourth.
Gotcha. But either way, they meet the same fate, which is freedom from pain. And, you know, it's not a bad thing. Blastinus is like, I got the worms once. Yeah, Blastinus did kill worms, and that is always a good thing. Let me invite Blastinus to come chat. Yeah, how do you feel the players did?
I think they all did really well. That stage 4 is rude.
Oh yeah, stage 4 is definitely very rude. Blastinus is here. Hello there. I can't hear you if you're talking, but I do see you here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, right. Sorry, I disabled my mic just in case. Like I didn't want the audio accidentally getting in. Anyhow.
Oh, that's completely fine. Yeah, congratulations.
Oh boy, that was kind of mean.
Yeah, it gets really rude, doesn't it?
Oh yes. The fact that you lose your charge anytime anything even nudges you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it certainly does. The thing is, like, there's been a lot of discussion about whether or not this is a bad game.
It is.
Okay, Blasphemous, you're gonna go ahead and just say it is. You're the one who won, so I'm willing to give you the final say on this. Why is it a bad game?
Okay, so enemies coming at you from diagonals. Your attacks are all like unwieldy unless you charge them up first. You can get knocked back. You can get like repeatedly hit because there's barely any invulnerability frames.
Yeah, for sure. Very few iframes. I think during the lava level, or some people are calling it the soup level. I don't know. I don't know what liquid it is.
It looks like kind of like a lake of acid. That's kind of what I was kind of figuring out.
Okay, lake of acid level. Yeah, it's the dunks especially. I loved watching people trying to do platforming and just getting denied over and over and over again, and it made me very happy. Very enjoyable there.
Yeah, you basically just had to like charge your flamethrower and hope that the things that are coming at you would be like in your way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of trying to remember exactly where the enemies are coming from. But one of the things you really want to do is it's one of those things where it's a race, but you really want to make sure that you go slow, because not all the pillars go under the lava, and some of them that don't just drop out from under you, if they go under the lava, you can just jump in place and land back on it while you're charging your shot before you move forward again. It really pays to be very, very patient in stage 4.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Oh boy.
Did you think that the game overall was fun though?
Some parts were fun.
Okay.
I mean, I did think it was kind of interesting, like the art style, like the fact that you had levels with people like turning into like rolling heads, and you had like an alien level.
Yeah, the level 3 especially looked a lot like Alien. This was supposedly based off of a manga series that was popular in Japan at the time. When it came over to the West, though, they stripped all connections to anime because that's what they always did. Because they're like, oh my gosh, Americans hate anime. We can't have any anime. It's not allowed. With that said, like, we did talk about the art, because the artist has recently passed, and there is a memorial in the latest, what was it, the mini Genesis, mini Mega Drive?
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, it happens, you know. That's how things go, and I think that she did a fantastic job with art in various games. You know, it was great. And the art in this, I had almost nothing to say bad about any of the graphics. They, like, for one of the first Genesis games, the game's smooth, it runs well, and it looks nice. And so graphics department, bam, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's what I do like about the Genesis, is that things like they have that very nice like explosions, and most of the games are very smooth. I usually enjoy playing on Genesis stuff.
I've got a question for you, Blasphemous. Do you think this game would have been improved if the continues were infinite, where you didn't have to get all the way back to a stage where you were struggling with?
Absolutely, yeah. The kind of limited continues. Like, I tried to get an extra life once when I had 2 lives already, and I don't think it even registered.
Honestly, I think that, like, they kept that type of game design in from the old days when, you know, games were they needed to be a certain level of difficulty so people couldn't get through all of the content in a single day. You know, Super Nintendo ended up and the Genesis ended up being more generous when it came to continues and such, and difficulty went down a little bit in some ways. I just think that's a holdover from what games had been doing for a long time, because even with Infinite Continues, this game has some levels that are still very, very brutal, that, you know, you're gonna get punished a lot.
Oh boy, like even stuff that we haven't even seen yet?
Oh yeah, it gets. Stage 4 is a very huge spike in difficulty. Stage 5 also really rough, and then like Stage 6 I believe is a little lighter, and then 7 and 8 are just brutal. Like everything about it is brutal.
I see. Does the game eventually give you like more powers than just the spread shot, the flamethrower, and the?
I think there's one other power that you get, but I haven't gotten that far, so I couldn't say for any certainty. You guys all passed, or you passed my high water mark. I've gotten to Stage 4, so you did better than I have with this game. So congratulations for that.
Yeah.
But like everybody in the match room is complaining about the lava pillars.
Honestly, I think I just got lucky on that. Like, this game does have a certain degree of RNG to it. Like, that first boss in the forest, like, he can choose to either roll or leap at you.
Yep.
And you can only attack him while he's leaping.
Yeah, you have to be up in the trees. One of the things that I was telling Resentia about this is that when I got this for Mystery Triathlon, I got up into the trees, and when he came up, he actually got up higher than me, so I was just using the basic shot. I just juggled him in the air.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know that I think it was Specchio who managed to find a very decent spot as well, and just used the flamethrower angled down left, and the enemy kept jumping into it over and over and over again until it died.
Like, I'm mashing his face into the fire.
It's great. Like, honestly, this is one of those games that I might have to go and play. Like, it really appeals to me. Even if it does have some big flaws, I feel like the flaws, like, they make it at least more interesting rather than dull. And that's sort of what I like. It's interesting to me, the way that the game succeeds and fails in various ways. And so, like, I feel I might have to play this. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah, like, I actually really loved the fact that, you know, if you could actually land it, your basic Hadouken attack basically was actually the strongest thing in your arsenal.
Yeah, like, it's just really hard to hit things because a lot of the stuff is up higher than you or down lower than you, and it only goes straight.
Mm-hmm. But if you can hit it, then yeah, like that, you can just really get through the game super fast.
Yeah.
Like, you can, like those like worm walls, for instance, those things go down in one shot.
I'm really interested. Like, people have pointed out that the task is like 5.5 minutes to go through. You can blast through this game if you know how to do it. I'd be really interested in seeing what a speedrun would look like for this game, because it's like, I feel like if you got good at this game, you could just destroy it speeding through, and like, that is really cool to me, that something that takes so long to get through can be very fast. Of course, that's what interested me in Kid Cool for a little while, until I started actually running it, and then I'm like, this was a mistake. A mistake.
Don't you still have a promise of getting sub 30 in Kid Cool?
The sub-hour. I got sub-hour. We got sub-hour. Okay, anyways, thank you, everybody. I'm not going to let you talk about that anymore, because we have other games. I Feel Bad, Tenmiku, and our friend
Anisep.
Yeah, Anisep have been eliminated. You, Blastinus, and Specchio are moving on to round 4 and may be able to make it into the bracket. So again, congratulations, great job, and best of luck in the future. Yeah, actually, wait, let me see. Yeah, I believe Tenmiku had 12 points. 17 is not quite enough, but that was a really good push. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, see ya.
See ya, friends. Talk to you later. Bye, Blastinus. Bye, Time Stalker.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Tenmiku, you know what? I see you in chat. You're gonna have to come back onto Don't Make Us Bored and bring some more of your chaos, because it always makes me laugh. Tenmiku is a great friend of the stream and has done a lot of stuff, both in playing in Kusog7ande as well as playing on Don't Make Us Bored. I always enjoy what he has to show. Oh my gosh, the Need for Speed old school version of that is a perfect speed run, and honestly, I could watch that all day. It's so good. It's so good, everybody. Well, everybody, we've got another 3 matches today. The weekend is young. Wait, no, it's not. It's like halfway over. Holy crap. Well, we better get on to our next match then.